my name's Sam, and I started my journey with My Holistic about, I think it's 18 months ago now. How I came about it was originally through a recommendation of a friend who had used the My Holistic, the company, through her sort of pregnancy reflexology. And for myself, at that point, I was finding that I was quite anxious. I was finding that on a monthly basis, and I could pinpoint it to a monthly pattern, that my hormones would spiral, that I was making I didn't feel that I could make good decisions. I felt quite irrational in my decision making, and it was having an impact on my life, but also on my family's life. And I just kind of thought, do you know what, it's really close, I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it could work really, really well. And after the first sort of meet, I came away, and I think the word I used, I felt really empowered. I felt validated, and I felt like I wasn't making up how I felt. Like it was, someone said to me, what you're saying to me makes sense, it's real, and we can hopefully do something about it. And then the session, I really didn't know what to expect. It was very relaxing. And then the things that I was told after the session, I was astonished, because we hadn't spoken about that in the conversation previously, like my jaw or something like that. And I was like, how can they know that from my feet? So then I kind of carried on I think it was a weekly course for about 6 weeks. And over that time, the transformation was huge. I just felt like I knew more about what my body was doing, so it was kind of like a knowledge is power thing. And I think it was towards the end of the sessions, and I sort of was having a conversation with my mum, and I said, I just feel like it's been really, really good, and I just feel so much. And she finished my sentence by saying, calmer. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly. So other people had noticed the change as well, which I think was further validation that it wasn't just me noticing it, other people could see the change. My sort of cycle was not sort of erratic, but it was kind of, sometimes I'd have a much longer gap between my period, and then it would be a shorter gap, and then it was kind of, and I was getting quite more physical symptoms than I'd ever had before. So headaches, quite heavy legs, so then it would impact on what I would want to do. So I would often maybe not go for a run at that point, because I would think my legs felt really heavy, or I had a really bad headache. So having regular sessions at the right time of my cycle, which I now have the knowledge to know when that is, means that those symptoms have pretty much almost gone. The mental health improvement, that was the real kind of huge benefit. And I kind of describe it as, when someone asks me, like they say, what's it like, what does it feel like? And I was like, in the moment, it just feels really relaxing and lovely. And the way I described it after quite a few sessions to somebody was, it feels like now you get like maybe a wave of anxiety about something, because that's normal, that's life. But it feels like it kind of hits me and bounces back. It doesn't stick. That's the best way to describe it, I think. I really do make the time to make sure that this is the one thing that I do make time for myself to do. And I think because everybody around me can see how beneficial it's been, and so I do it regularly, and I can almost feel if there's been a time where I've had to push it back a week, or I can feel like I need to go, and it's time. I can just feel that's how I can feel it. So one of my fears before I came as well, when I was already in a bit of an anxious state about things, was, is this the start of perimenopause? Is that the state? The sort of state where I am now? Actually, to come and to be told, actually, I don't think it is that, because now I don't think that's what it is. I think it was more actually just the symptoms that you get from a menstrual cycle in general, and that kind of almost lifted a bit of a weight in a way, just again to have somebody kind of say, I don't think it is. but let's kind of manage the symptoms anyway and sort of see how it kind of goes. It feels like you're coming for a chat with a friend now because that relationship has built up over time, and it's a trusted relationship because I've been able to sort of share how I feel and have that support and see how things are going and things like that. And now it is like coming in to see a friend. Like, it does feel like that. I kind of come in and have a chat about how my week's gone and the struggles of juggling life and that kind of thing, and then it kind of gets to the right, how's things going from a kind of more sort of like my menstrual cycle and things like that. I think that conversation element is really important. For me, it's the best money and time that I give myself on a monthly basis, and it's really important. And I think it's something that can help in so many different ways.